Hey everyone, and welcome to another installment of Tom's World. Today we are back in Hulmeville Borough in Bucks County, PA. As you can tell behind me, you can see the old mill that I had talked about, and there's Heritage Park in front of it, the smallest park I've ever seen in my life. And behind me over here is the Hulmeville Inn. Where we're going today is actually in these woods behind me, and we're going to meet up with Neshaminy Creek and go down a little ways, and there's another set of falls there. I've done two sets of falls on Neshaminy Creek. One of them is really a dam, not so much a fall, but anyway, we're gonna go in there and check this out. I might make this a normal thing. I might go check out all the different falls on Neshaminy Creek. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's get in there and check this out. All right, so as you saw behind me, there is the mill on the right and Hulmeville Inn on the left. And right across the street, right across Trenton Road, is this parking lot. And you just go off to the left here, and there's a little trail, and it'll take you back. What's really weird, speaking of Trenton Road is Hulmeville Road. All the way up until you hit Hulmeville, and then it becomes Trenton Road. Seems a little weird to me, I don't know. I may have mentioned that before. So as we're going in, you can see there's a little runoff of the creek here, and it goes down this little ramp, which is pretty cool. In this area, they have to take measures every way that they can to try to prevent flooding. As you may have seen, or maybe not, in a past video of mine, I worked with the people who are trying to save Hulmeville Hill, and they're trying to prevent flooding from happening, among other things. So you can go back and check that out. I'll put a link to both videos I did here in the description, so you can go check them out if you'd like. The first video, as I mentioned, I just mainly milled around the old mill and checked out the park, the air quote park in front of it, which is as I mentioned, the smallest park I have ever seen. And then the second video was with the Save Hulmeville Hill. Right now, the creek looks, I don't know, it looks kind of high, I guess, kind of high tide. It's moving at a good rate, flowing down to the Delaware, as all creeks seem to do. I did check this area out when I was here doing the Heritage Park video. I came down here just out of curiosity, and it is now more grown up, way more grown up than it was when I came here, because how I got here was on the other side of Trenton Road over there, where the mill is. I went into the woods there, and then under the bridge that is Trenton Road, and there's no passing that right now. Things grew up way more. I mean, that was in the winter, so not that we had that much of a winter this year. I mean, it got cold and stuff, but I don't know if I caught that. I think that was an eagle flying by. There is an eagle in the area, or an eagle family in the area, a little further downstream from me. And man, the webs, the spider webs back here are relentless. They're all over my face. and there's another one. Wow. Active insect area, I guess. When I was in the course of making the video with the Save Hulmeville Hill people, I had the opportunity to go visit the home of a couple of them, and when we were at the one guy's house, we had been talking about the eagle that was living around there, and that they hadn't seen it for a little while. And just as if on cue, the eagle came swooping down towards the creek and then went back up into its nest. And that was like the first time I saw a bald eagle in the wild with my own eyes. Like, I mean, I've seen them at the zoo and stuff, but never had an opportunity to see them just in the wild. Well, that's a private road, so you don't want to go down there. And I could see the falls down there. Very reminiscent of the falls that are closer to Neshaminy Mall. We're gonna go down to this beach, see if we can get a good look at the falls, and then we're gonna get a closer look. Yeah, just the fact that it has that island in front of it is very reminiscent of those falls over by Neshaminy Mall, aptly named Neshaminy Falls. Place I'd been to quite a few times when I was a kid. Yeah, I guess maybe that wasn't an eagle, maybe it was a hawk. There's a lot of them flying around. And if you look off to this side, there's like a little runoff of the falls on the rocks. Now, I don't know if I could get on the other side. Would be cool if I can. Before I leave, I'll see if I can, but I don't see anything that resembles trails back there. It's a pretty steep hill, but maybe like there's a side street there. I don't know off the top of my head. I can't remember the layout of the area, but if there's a side street, maybe like there's a little path that comes down to there. Anyway, let's walk down there and check this out. So this is a pretty cool little area back here. During the winter, it has like a different feel altogether. I mean, most woods do, you know, and I get that. But it is very calming, very nice back here. Looks like there might be a fallen tree fort back there. Could just be a shed or something. I know for some people that live along Neshaminy Creek, and maybe it's every one of them, I'm not sure, but I know some of them, their land goes all the way out to the creek. And that's part of the problem with the flooding. I mean, you can see it does go uphill from here, but it apparently creeps up pretty quick. Getting closer. And the further I go in, the more cobweb, or the more webs I get on my face. Hope there's an opening up here. There sure is. We got a little pool. I wouldn't call it stagnant, but like, I mean, right now I guess it is. But I'm sure when the tide comes up in the, or the level of the water increases, however you want to say that. I don't know if it's tide still, if it's a creek and not a river or an ocean. But when that comes up, I'm sure it goes up over those rocks. Wonder what this whole concrete thing is here. I wonder. See, here in Hulmeville, there were a lot of mills all along the Neshaminy Creek. And I wonder if this is some kind of remnant of that, or was this something to do more so with the creek? Like, was it a wall, like a dam kind of wall or something? And if anybody knows, please feel free to put that in the comments. Let me know. I don't know what it is about waterfalls. They just kind of fascinate me. You can barely see off in the distance there that little runoff that I was talking about on the left side. I mean, it's probably hard to see, but like up there almost looks like a house or something. And if that's a house, then there's no way I'm getting down there. I'm not going on somebody's property. There also looks like on the right side there's like a tarp or something. Anyway, go back to the falls here. So you can see the foam build up all along here. And it's kind of nasty looking over here. Yeah, that's kind of nasty. I don't know that I could get onto this middle island. I mean, that concrete structure does continue out there, but then it gets like a little sketchy around this area. But I don't know, I think maybe I could do it. Let's find out. But before I do that, as I was walking around here, I couldn't help but notice this tree that had like some railing in it, like the tree grew around it. So I wonder where that came from. I mean, was that something that was here? Is that another clue that there was a structure here in addition to the concrete? The plot thickens. All right, so we're back to where that little pond of water is here. And I'm gonna try to make my way around to the other side of these trees. I have no idea what this plant is that I'm walking through. All right, so we've made it to the concrete thing. And just gotta walk over. I mean, if I could do Dinosaur Lake, I should have no problems doing this. Like when I cross the creek there. And I am wearing my work shoes, so they're somewhat waterproof. All right, well, that was easy. Now, at the very least, we can get a better look at the runoffs that are on the left here. That bird came pretty close to me. There's a duck. There we go. Oh, that's not a house. I see now, the white that I was seeing is just graffiti. So maybe there is a way to come down from up there. It's hard to tell if there's a trail. But that would be pretty cool. Still love this. Like I could just stand here and watch the falls for quite a while and just, it's calming for me, you know? Everybody has their own thing, their own calming thing. I have multiple things that help me calm when I need it. Waterfalls are one of them. Waterfalls, rain, a lot of things to do with water. Still very cool though, the way the water runs over those rocks. I think that's neat. We'll see if I can get over there. Can't even tell if there's a fence up there. Obviously people come down there. Doesn't mean that you're allowed to, but people do come down there. I mean, it's not that far of a walk, really. The bridge down there, that's Trenton Road. So maybe before I head back to the car, I parked out on Main Street. So maybe before I make the trek back to the car, I'll just walk down that road, if that's a road. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I get to the top of the hill here, take one last look. Get a little higher ground here. There we go. That right there, that's the thumbnail for the video. Very pretty. Alright. I am going to keep the video rolling just in case. I don't think I'm going to fall on this, but I've been promising you all for the last 3 years that when I fall, if the camera is rolling, then you will see the footage of me falling. Alhowever, I've only fallen twice, and I almost just did there. A little bit of algae buildup on here. I have fallen twice. I just did not happen to be recording at the time. I am quite the clumsy type person sometimes, so hey, you never know. And I've said it before in at least one video, maybe two. Whenever you're going along a creek like Pequesson Creek or Neshaminy Creek, if you think of it, always look down as you're walking, because you never know when you're gonna find like an old Indian or Native American arrowhead, because they were in the area. I mean, Neshaminy, I think, was the name of an Indian tribe. I believe Pequesson was as well, and they did like to dwell around the creek areas, anywhere near water, basically. Yeah, I came out kind of early today. I mean, it's my first day off of the week, but I decided to get up a little early, get my first coffee and get my shower, come out and make a video, because today is what, Friday, April 28th, 2023. And it's gonna rain all weekend from what the weather forecast says, and I really needed to make a video. So I had to come up with something quick. And I know a lot of people have given me suggestions and stuff. It's just with the suggestions that I got, there's history involved, and I want to get together as much of the accurate history as I can when I make the video. And with this one, I mean, yeah, there's some history involved. Like I said, there were mills all over the place here, but you know, nothing of like extreme significance. Making my way up to the Trenton Road over there. I don't even know if you could see that. It just amazes me how quick nature happens with things growing up like this. I mean, you could see from here, when I first came down here, you could see the falls from here. That's how clear it was. It's crazy. All right, well, apparently the spiders remade their webs after I walked through them. because I just walked through a bunch of them. Now it's a little noisy up here on the road, but I thought it'd be cool to get like a overhead shot of the creek. That was that bird again. Still couldn't tell if it was a hawk or an eagle. I think it was a hawk. You can see the falls from here. There they are. And just to give you an idea of my fear of heights factor, even just standing there, I was feeling it. What is that in front of my camera? Is it part of a spider web? It sure is. Proof that I wasn't lying about the webs. You see, once you cross the Neshaminy Creek, then you're in Bensalem. So I had mentioned that to somebody before, that I think that Neshaminy Creek is the natural border between Bensalem and Hulmeville. Or Hulmeville. Why do I always add an S to that? Hulmeville. And I guess I was right. Now, where I'm going now is a senior living facility. And I have not seen any signs posted. There's a faded sign up here. Hopefully it doesn't say no trespassing or something like that. Because this is going to be the only way to get to that area. And no, it doesn't say no trespassing. It says reduce speed in parking area. So that's good. All right, well, they have a fence surrounding the entire property. So maybe if I go through here, there's a way. All right, so for most of that property, there was a fence going around that as well. But here, it's just a little wooden, whatever you want to call that. I think those are the same things that we're going to be getting in Benjamin Rush Park. Guardrail, that's the word I was looking for. I think that's what we'll be getting in Benjamin Rush State Park to replace the split rail fencing that's currently there. This is a rather steep hill, as I suspected. But all in the name of exploration. Because this is all a new area for me. Well, there's a big cavern-like thing right here, which is quite steep. I think I'll go down this side. I'm also sinking a little bit in the leaves here. Apparently people bring ATVs or something back here. I guess that makes sense. Whoa. Twice there. Almost took a tumble. See, this is why I continue to take video, because you never know. Here's that big cavern. I guess that's just a testament to how high the creek can get during a flooding time. Rather large old tree here. Something just landed in my hair. Well, I guess if it was big enough for me to feel it, I don't have to worry. It's not a tick. Probably just something that fell from the trees here. There's the other side. I had doubts that we would actually make it over here. Shame on me for doubting myself. My coffee is getting cold. Oh, okay. But the trail ended. I was going to say, oh no. It's always nice this time of year. Everything's turning green. And over at the parks, Neshaminy and Benjamin Rush, well, we have a lot of catching up to do with mowing. This week, Tuesday and Wednesday, my co-worker Tom and I were over at Benjamin Rush, weed whacking and mowing, trying to catch up. Out on Southampton Road, the weeds were as high as my hips, which is crazy. I don't know how it wasn't like that just the week before. And that was just one rain that did that. Wow. I gotta go up again. Oh. Just barely made straddle in that tree. We're almost there. Wow. It's pretty steep there. I didn't want to get too close to the edge because the whole fear of heights thing was kicking in. It's weird, even when I watch videos where people are up high, I can feel that in my stomach. Very thin footing here. But then it opens up. All right. Oh, isn't that nice? The roots almost make steps. This was the area with the graffiti. Ooh, wind's kicking up. I think it was that white that I saw there. There really are a lot of like good artists that do graffiti that really should look to do something like as a job with that somehow. I see a lot of it in going to wooded areas and stuff. Like, I've yet to be to Graffiti Pier, but I've seen videos and pictures, and some of the artists there are amazing. And then over at the abandoned prison farm, quite a few good ones there too. We made it. Some people over there on the beach. They got some poles, they're gonna do some fishing. And as per usual, since I'm on well, it's not unsteady, but like rocky ground here, I'm gonna keep the video going in case I fall. But if I fall, it's not gonna be pretty. You know, this might be the thumbnail here. I don't know, I'll have to compare the two, see what one looks better. But you can almost see a mist coming off of the falls further down. Looks like smoke. I don't know if I'm gonna trust this. See if I can get down a little further, but I don't feel good about it. Got a better shot from the other side without that branch in the way. Alright. There is a trail that seems to continue down here. But I think at this point the video is long enough. Actually seems like it splits, goes to the right, or maybe this doesn't. No, well, it goes up and around the rock. Yeah, we'll save that for another time. My main goal was to get to the falls and see if I could get both sides, and we achieved that goal because we are awesome. Not that it was that big of a trick, really. However, what will be a bigger trick is remembering where I came down because I didn't take notice. I was too eager to get in, and I didn't take notice to any like landmarks or anything for me to see. Huh. So I went down and around that big crater, but there's a path going here. Just a little slanted, but as long as I take my time, I should be all right. Famous last words, and then you see the camera roll and roll and roll. Would be my luck. See, again, I know there's a trail down there, and that's probably the one I was on. But I'm sticking closer to the top so I can see the area I came in. Wow, what are the chances? There was that big dig out of the hill that I was just at, and I decided to come up here to check, and it's the exact spot I came down in. Go me. So on the other side of Trenton Road, which as you can see has no sidewalk or anything, so taking my life in my own hands here just to get a shot of this, which the little cattle herders here, they're a bit lower than the other side. So right now, even though I'm not looking, so I have no idea what kind of footage you're getting. Okay, I looked for a second. My whole fear of heights thing is in full effect. It's not that high up. I just saw a rock on the bridge. You might have saw it for a second, or on the concrete thing there, in the middle of a bridge. And it said, "Let it go." Encouraging people to jump. Alright, see now that we're on the other side, Borough of Hulmeville. Should say historic Hulmeville. And here we are back at the mill. Heritage Park. This is the park. That's it. It's crazy that they call this a park. See? Once again, I'll show the well, I don't want to call it a Gatling gun because I was corrected by one of the people who are part of Save Hulmeville Hill that this is not a Gatling gun, but to me it looks like a Gatling gun. You know, I don't know. Definitely a repeating gun. But this is the old mill. You can see the area that was added on, obviously. And here's the other side of the mill. And what might not be as easy to tell as over there, the addition that was put on, you see where this crack is running up the wall and then the roof is not level there. It's not like one piece is under the other. That was another addition that was put on quite a long time ago. So this was just like the from that window, door, window, and that was it as far as width. Crazy, man. History here. And speaking of history, as I mentioned in the Heritage Park, the old mill video, this first part of the building here, not so historic, but the second taller part is very historic. I'll zoom in on the plate again so you can see what it was called. Right now it's called Johnson Hall, and it's a coffee house. I think it's Johnson Hall. Yeah. So, but it used to have a different name. So, Neshaminy Lodge, 1871. This place used to be a theater of sorts and had performances in there, rumor performance by Abbott and Costello in their vaudeville days, but also Harry Houdini. Now that one I think is confirmed because enough people have said it, and I did read something about it online at some point. But Harry Houdini was here and he performed one of his famous tricks. No, not the one that killed him, obviously. But this is a place I should like to get into someday if it's at all possible. To see if there's anything left. I know the first floor is a coffee house. I don't know what they're doing with the second and third floors. Maybe there's some remnants of when it was a theater in there. I can't really say. But it would be cool. And of course, before we go, here's the William Penn Fire Company here in Hulmeville. Hulmeville Penna. Usually it's like P-E-N-N, but they added the A. Well, whatever. But behind it, you can see this hill. This is all Hulmeville Hill. Or so it was deemed. And this is what's to be saved. And if you'd like to know more about the story behind what's going on with this hill and the people who are trying to save it, the link for that video, as I mentioned earlier, will be in the description. You can go check it out. It's packed full of information as to history and as to why they're trying to save it for different reasons. Things to do with flooding, with crowding, because somebody wants to build houses in here, a ridiculous amount of houses. Things to do with the wildlife in here and the different plant life to be preserved. So go check that video out. And if this is your first time here, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button. After you do that, hit the notification bell. That way you'll be sure to be notified as soon as I upload new videos or do live feeds, which I've been doing quite often lately. And you can hang out, maybe give suggestions of places to go check out. If this is your first time here, then I check out all kinds of things, wooded areas, historical areas. If I can find ruins where I'm not trespassing, I will definitely check them out. So any suggestions anybody has, you can always message me on my Facebook for This Is Tom's World. You'll always find the link to that in the descriptions of the videos. Or you could just comment in one of the videos and say, hey, how about you go to this place, or, you know, whatever. So, anyway, If you could also do me a favor and hit that like button, that thumbs up right below the video, that will help me greatly. And with that, I am going to get out of here before it starts to rain. I know it's not supposed to start for another couple of hours, but you know, it's starting to feel like it might start soon. So I'm going to get out of here. I will see you all in the next one. Make sure you stay safe, stay healthy, and take care.